Did you know that there is a simple 3-word sentence that a lot of people cannot say? Literally, they can't say it. So let's see if you can. I'm going to put them on the screen and ask you to say these 3 words out loud right now. Not in your head, out loud. Are you ready? Here it is. I am powerful. Say it out loud. Did you say it? Or did you hesitate? Or do you feel like you can't even say it? Did it feel weird or maybe even wrong? Because if you feel challenged to say these words, I am powerful, with conviction, then you're not fully in control of your life. And we want to change that. And this video is going to help you be able to change that and to be able to start saying these 3 words. Now, we're not going into this to put you down. I say this because there's something deeper going on here that most people never look at, and it's something that keeps a lot of people feeling like they're not good enough. So, if you could say it, then kudos to you. Put it down in the comments, I said it, and hit that thumbs up button. But if not, that hesitation you felt, the resistance, the little voice in your head that said, that's not really true for me, that isn't random, my friend. This is programming. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly where that comes from. And more importantly, how to take your power back. Here's a story. I realized this in a way that honestly caught me off guard. Many years ago, I was with a girlfriend, and we were talking about something, and she was having a little bit of a challenge on something. And I could feel it emotionally. She just wasn't in a strong place. So I said, okay, let's do this. I want you to say, I am powerful. And she said, I don't want to say that. I said, well, just go ahead and say it. I don't want to. It wasn't that she didn't want to. She couldn't. It wouldn't come out. And she told me she couldn't say it or wouldn't say it. It's almost like something inside of her rejected it. And I remember thinking, this is really interesting. It's such a simple 3-word statement. Later on, I did the same thing with my daughter. The exact same thing. She was a little challenged, complaining about something somebody was doing to her. And I said, you know what? Say, I am powerful. And she couldn't say it either. She said she wasn't going to say it. Different people, different lives, same resistance. And that's when it hit me. This isn't personality. It's an innate sense of very low self-worth that's been conditioned into these people and perhaps into you. So what's really going on here? What's the psychology? Well, first, this is an identity conflict. Your brain is wired to protect what you believe is true about you. So when you say something like, I am powerful, but deep down, you don't really believe that about yourself, your mind rejects it. It literally says, that's not who we are. And it creates a serious internal discomfort. And that weird feeling you got is your identity pushing back. There is a part in you that doesn't feel you have the power to control your world. And that is ultimately low self-worth. Now, remember, low self-worth is not something that you are. It's something that would have been programmed into you long ago. Self-worth is who I believe I am. Self-worth leads to self-esteem. Self-esteem is how I evaluate myself based on who I think I am. In other words, low self-esteem feeds the story of low self-worth, and it is reinforced by rejection, criticism, bad relationships, repeated failures, parents that somehow made you feel like you weren't good enough in some way. Basically, you were conditioned to shrink. You were not born thinking that you're not powerful. You weren't born thinking that you were powerful. You were born wide open. Your subconscious was not programmed at all. So, as you started to grow, somewhere along the line, likely at a young age, you were repeatedly taught that you weren't good enough in some way. Maybe directly, maybe indirectly. Parents, teachers, relationships, life experiences, they all started in the beginning and they just kept getting reinforced. Think of it, moments where you're told to sit down, be quiet, and your opinion doesn't matter. I remember my last girlfriend that I had, she grew up in a house where they were not allowed to express anger. And that affected her throughout her entire life. Or here's another thing that would contribute to it. You tried something and failed and decided, maybe I'm just not capable. So over time, you build an identity that says, I'm not powerful. And when you try to say it, it feels like a lie. When I was young, what my dad would do, he would put us in the corner when we were in trouble. And what would we do? We'd cry, right? Right? And what he would do is stop crying. It took a long time to figure out the deep problem with that. He put us in the corner because we did something wrong and we should feel bad. And then he was telling us that we can't express our bad feelings. So we had to stuff it. And that caused me to have so low self-worth and low self-esteem. That caused so many challenges in my life. So as you get older, your mind is trying to keep you safe. Here's the part people don't talk about. Being powerful comes with responsibility. It comes with being visible from within, being exposed. It comes with risk. If you're powerful, you have to make decisions. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to walk away from things that don't serve you. That's uncomfortable. And since your identity challenges you on feeling powerful, your mind does something very smart. It keeps you small so you feel safe. And therefore, it does not want you to say, I am powerful. There are 3 simple words, but your mind is saying, I don't want you to say it, because deep down inside, we don't feel it. So here's the hard truth. If you can't say, I'm powerful, you will give your power away to other people. In relationships, you'll tolerate things you shouldn't tolerate. In work life, people will push over you. You'll wait for someone else to lead you. In your decisions, you'll second guess yourself constantly, and you let people push you around. That's why people who are on the bully end of being bullied, they're the bully. That's why people get bullied. Those who get bullied don't have power within themselves, or don't feel they have power themselves. Because if they don't feel they're powerful, or if you don't feel you're powerful, you're going to look for power outside of you. This is the tough part. So we're going to reframe this. This is where all this shifts. It's not about becoming powerful, because you already are powerful. Let me say this again. You already are powerful. This is about removing the layers that convinced you that you're not. So here's a process to change it. We don't need to go back in the past and try to undo stuff and go through a bunch of psychology. It's very simple, not easy, but it's really simple to start to change this and to be able to get these words out of your mouth to a point where you're so comfortable saying it, you can say it to anybody. Even if it feels fake, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if your mind is screaming, this is not true, you'll be able to say it anyway. So here's what you do. You, by yourself, go stand in front of the mirror and say to yourself, I am powerful. And you don't have to blurt it out. You just say the words. And you don't even need to attach them to you. You just say, okay, I'm just going to say the words. Because you're not lying. You're simply introducing yourself to the true you, to a mind that forgot it. What you do in that mirror is you look yourself straight in the eyes. And don't glance away. Just look yourself in the eyes and force yourself to do it and say it. I am powerful. And maybe this would be the very first time. It may come out and feel weak. That's fine. Just say it again. I am powerful. And even if you feel a tension in your body, just keep saying it. Something's magical is going to happen. Now, I want to tell you something before we go on to take you further into the step. I was charging $4,000 for my mentoring services. My mentor said, now you're going to charge $10,000 for it. I'm like, what? I didn't see my value at $10,000. And he's the one that told me, go stand in front of the mirror and say, it costs $10,000. It costs $10,000. Say it so many times that it becomes automatic. And I can tell you, it was really uncomfortable at first. I didn't feel powerful enough to earn $10,000 for my mentoring services. And I kept doing it. Eventually it came. So as you're saying this in the mirror, that I am powerful, the next thing you want to do is feel the resistance, that discomfort. It's not a sign to stop. It's a sign you're hitting something deep inside of you that is trying to fight back. It's an old identity that we want to get rid of. And that's exactly what needs to change, is that identity. So how do we do it? The only way we can start to undo it, not through psychology, not through counseling, we do it through repetition to ourselves, over and over and over again. In the morning when you're brushing your teeth, you're looking in the mirror, I am powerful, I am powerful, and you constantly stare into your eyes. This is the most important part. You stare into your eyes because you're looking in the windows of your own soul, and that's when it's going to feel uncomfortable, and you might want to look away, and there you have to consciously look at yourself. Do it in the morning, do it at night, stack it to your routine, write it down, especially write it down. Because when you're writing something and you're saying it while you're writing, you're hitting yourself in multiple different ways. You're consciously writing it, you are seeing the words being created, and you're consciously saying it, and you're speaking it 4 different ways. Repetition is what's going to rewire that identity. You don't change who you are by thinking about it, because that old program is going to fight back, and it's always going to beat your thinking. That's why we constantly feel not good enough, and the low self-worth that leads to low self-esteem. So we don't think it, we literally speak it, speak it, speak it, speak it. You can whisper it to yourself at work. You're reinforcing it daily. And at some point, something is going to happen. It's not going to be overnight, but you're going to notice one day there's going to be this shift. And you'll stop saying it like you're trying to convince yourself. And suddenly you'll start to say, wait a minute, I think I am powerful. And you'll feel it. And when that happens, when you feel a little shift, everything changes. Your self-confidence comes up, your self-worth comes up, your self-esteem comes up. It's almost like a light switch, and it feels so good. And suddenly your standards change. What you tolerate changes. The way you show up changes. Literally, the way you walk will change. Your head will be up, and people will see that energy around you. You won't chase approval anymore. You won't beg for attention. You won't stay in situations where you're being disrespected, because powerful people don't do that. And when you're creating power within you, you're changing. And let's say you're in a relationship that you feel pretty beat down. This is going to be very challenging for you to keep doing it, because that person that has beat down your self-worth so much, you're going to have to beat that self-worth back up. You don't have to tell them that. You just do it by yourself. This is your job. All right? So here's what I want you to do. Tonight, when you're by yourself, go to the mirror and say it. I am powerful, while you're looking yourself straight in the eyes. And if you can't say it, that's the exact sign of exactly why you need to say it. And write it down. Literally write it down and say it when you're writing it. You don't build a powerful life first. You become a person who believes it first. So the more you say it, the more you start to believe it, and you start to trick yourself, and then you start to believe yourself, and then you become that person. Everything else follows. If this video was helpful, I'd love to see a comment down below. And type I am powerful down below and put it in capital letters, especially if you don't feel powerful. And don't worry about if other people see your comment. Just do it. And if you did it, then write down, I did it. Give a like. If you know somebody that might be able to get something out of this video, to realize and learn that they truly are powerful, because everybody on the planet is powerful, including you. But if you know somebody, share this video with them. Let's start raising them up, because everybody deserves to have that sense of inner power, because that, my friend, is how you control your destiny.